All right. May pickups. This should be a fun one. A huge retro collection pickup, retro game pickup. A lot for the 360, an OG Xbox, and then I picked up some digital games. But so let's jump into it for the May pickup collection video. And I'm gonna start with the OG Xbox. First pickup, Midnight Club 2. So yeah, back in this era was when we had the best, in my opinion, the best um, arcade racers. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, games like Forza Horizon series is spectacular and is GOAT tier, but games like Midnight Club were undefeated at the time, and they were just so damn good. And Rockstar, that was back when Rockstar made more than one game a generation. So yeah, Midnight Club, saw it, had to pick it up. Next up, Blood Rain 2. I was looking also for a physical copy of Blood Rain 1, but I'll find one eventually. So, Blood Rain 2. This was a awesome action adventure game from back in the day. I believe it's backwards compatible on modern Xbox consoles as well. So, yeah, saw that and had to pick it up. Next up is the OG Xbox exclusive Sudeki. Never played it at the time, but looking at the gameplay, looks like it's an interesting game. Looks very cool. Sudeki, got that. Yes, picked up Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Love the Lord of the Rings games from this era. All of them are just awesome movie tie-in games. And the thing about that is, back in the day, movie tie-in games had a bad reputation, but the Lord of the Rings ones were always really good. Here's a classic, Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. This is a backwards compatible game on your modern Xbox consoles. Very awesome game. This was this might have even been uh, uh you know a day one game on the OG Xbox, like one of the first games you could play when the console first released, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. Lord of the Ring: The Third Age. Now, while this is more of a turn-based Lord of the Rings game, it looks like it's pretty fun, really cool. Again, just the Lord of the Rings is an IP that seems to produce a lot of just very good to excellent games in its library. The other tie-in, Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, and I already own the Two Towers. So I think I have all the Lord of the Ring games from that era now. So yeah, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Here's a good one, Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. This was an excellent game on the OG Xbox. Absolutely excellent. And it's nice to have it back in the collection. I really did love this one at the time. So when I saw it, I had to pick it up. And last in the OG Xbox is Advent Rising. Now, this game at the time was treated like a big deal. Game wasn't as revolutionary as it probably was marketed as, but it's backwards compatible, so you could play it on modern Xbox consoles. And it's a really cool third person action adventure game. Really cool game. So yeah, so that's the OG Xbox pickups. Next up is the 360s. And first off, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I believe that this is in the same line of War of the Cybertron games. I think, not 100% sure, because never played it, but saw it, picked it up. Activision, by the way. So hopefully it'll be cool if Activision Xbox could kind of work out some type of license deal, so we could get these type of games backwards compatible. That'd be awesome. Here's a game that is it could be a bit pricey. It's backwards compatible and it's a really awesome game. It's Shadows of the Damned. Yeah, I believe it's delisted digitally, right? So you can only play it physical, and as a result, it has a pretty pricey price tag out there. Even if you just buy a disc only, it could be a good $25-$30 for some reason. So yeah, so I didn't. By the way, look, guys, I don't pay that much for these old ass games. I'm one of the types. If the game's too expensive, I'll pass. So if I find a good deal, find it for cheap, you know, um, then I'll pick it up. And that was the case with Shadows of the Damned. All right, Dead or Alive 4. I believe this is also backwards compatible now, and it's the classic fighting series. And this is when the series was still really good. I don't think it had the same punch with 5 and 6, but the Xbox versions from 360 and OG Xbox were really awesome. Here's a game that I found for actually cheaper than like the price of Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 seems to be going down, which is good. I think because I remember looking for this game for a minute and it was in like the $40-$45 range. And I'm just like, who's going to pay $45 for this game? And yeah, but fortunately, ended up finding it for way cheaper. Also picked up Castlevania Lords of Shadows 1. These are excellent hack and slash games. I don't know how well they did. Like, I know for a fact Castlevania 2 came out in like 2014. By then, at the time, the Xbox One generation was in full force. So this one I kind of fell by the wayside. I think the first one, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1, did well. But yeah, excellent hack and slash games, both backwards compatible if you're interested. I picked up The Last Remnant and a really cool foil case here. But yeah, The Last Remnant I picked up. I'm not sure if that's backwards compatible or not. Excuse me. I just know that it's a JRPG. Never played it before, but the gameplay looked good. The gameplay looked good. So hopefully it's as good as it looks. So that's The Last Remnant. I picked up Brave, Disney's and Pixar's Brave, a movie tie-in game, backwards compatible on Xbox as well. This is one of them games that are also extremely cheap. Like you could find this for like the $3, $4, $5 range. And it looks like it's a fun action adventure game. So I'm definitely going to give it a try. Never played it, but it looks cool. Another game, Alien vs. Predator. This is a really cool first-person shooter. So yeah, this looks like it's gonna be awesome as well. Another backwards compatible game, and had to pick it up for the collection. Dragon Age Origins, the classic BioWare RPG. Phenomenal game for all the RPG lovers. I picked up the Skate trilogy, Skate 1, 2, and 3. Now, 1 and 3 are super cheap. You can find them digitally as well. And it's on EA Access. So there are plenty of ways to play these two. For some reason, though, 2, I guess, got delisted. Maybe it's a copyright thing. No clue. And by the way, you could tell this is an old case because it's got the WWE sticker there. I find that funny. But yeah, so this one's a little more pricey. But it's not super expensive. Instead of paying like $5 at most $10 for these physically, this one would go in like the $20 range. I could live with that. So yeah, the Skate trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, all backwards compatible on modern Xbox consoles as well. And last but not least, I picked up the physical copies of the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. So it's Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2, and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Really cool game. By the way, in terms of Xbox 360 games that age beautifully, these 3 games look so good. And then they run at like 4K. I think they also have the FPS boost on the Xbox Series S and X, I think. Right? But they age surprisingly well. That you'd play it when I played them, at least, because I played it digitally before getting the physical versions for the collection. I was blown away. And so yeah, these three Had to add them to the collection because I prefer physical, love owning the physical copies of them. All three games are pretty cheap, and you can find them relatively easy. Also, yeah, let me also say the Castlevania games has also aged well graphically and look phenomenal. Yeah, so that's my pickups with the physical stuff, and then digitally, because there's a pretty cool sale. I picked up all the Kingdom Hearts games on Xbox. Kingdom Hearts 3. Which one is this? Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix. I mean, Melody of Memories and 2.8. With these titles, Infinity Strash. I started playing this a bit. It's a pretty cool JRPG. Also picked up. Hold on there. Yeah. Also picked up. What Remains of Edith Finch. I heard that it's an excellent story and story-driven game. And while story-driven games could be hit or miss for me personally, I heard such great things about it. And by the way, it was extremely cheap. I think it was like, I kid you not, like $3 or something like that. So it's so cheap that it's like, okay, I'll pick it up. Demon Skin, which is a really cool beat 'em up and a really cool side scroller in Tales of Zenara. Alright, so yeah, that's my pickups, guys. That's my pickups. And let me say this before I wrap it up. So the retro gaming market, specifically with the 360, from my understanding, has been booming lately. And so just some tips, all right, guys. Some tips. Shop around. There are various retro gaming sites like DK Oldies and Lukey Games. And there's one called GameRoom.com, for example. Stuff like that. Shop around, price match, see what works for you. You might even find some good stuff on Amazon. Although I think Amazon's retro gaming market is the worst of them all. eBay, I know some people don't like eBay. I find that you can find good prices there, multiple sellers, and the quality is at least serviceable. At least you get the disc, the manual, in the game. I haven't been ripped off with eBay. I know that could be something. Flea markets are a good idea. As I actually got some of the games here from a number of the games here from going around at flea markets. Thrift shops is another good idea. And if you're driving around, sometimes at yard sales are probably where you're gonna find the cheapest of cheap, because those people who run yard sales, they're just trying to get rid of stuff. So they'll just give you, just take it for like $2 type thing. So yeah, when it comes to retro game shopping, don't get ripped off. Don't get lost up in FOMO, as they call it, fear of missing out, because that could lead you to paying for more than you have to. And my mentality with these old games, you do not need to pay hundreds of dollars, $80, $90 for them. Come on, that's more expensive than new games, which to me is just absurd, right? So if you just be a little patient sometimes. Don't get too wrapped up, because sometimes a game might be hot now, and then a few months later, you'll look back again like, oh, a game that was $40, $50, $60 is now $15. So that's just my tips. Hope you guys enjoyed the pickup video, and I'm out.